Session 4 will be on Big Data Analytics and its research issues. It will be handled by Dr. Shirin Zafar, Department of CSE, School of Engineering Sciences and Technology, Jamia Hamdan. Now, I request Ms. A. Divya to introduce our resource person. Over to you, ma'am.
I consider it a great honor to introduce our resource person, Dr. Sherin Zafar, to the gathering. She holds a PhD in Computer Engineering Technologies from Manav Rachna International University, Faridabad. She has over 14 years of teaching experience and she currently works as an assistant professor in CSA department at Jamia Hamdard. She has an experienced professional with a demonstrated history of working in the education management industry. She is the editorial member, reviewer, and TPC member of 49 journals and international conference. She has reviewed more than 100 papers in various journals. She has received the Certificate of Appreciation in Teaching from Honorable Uma Shankar Gupta, Education Minister, Madhya Pradesh in the year 2015. I thank her for providing her gracious presence to join us today. Now, I request our resource person, Dr. Sherin Zafar, to take over the session. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good morning to everybody. Ma'am, am I audible? My voice is all audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, I'll just request, I'll stop my video because some bandwidth issues occur, and later when question answers occur, I'll open my video also.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. I'm just sharing my screen. Just tell me that if everything is fine.
Yes, ma'am, screen is visible, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Do it now or sometimes later will become never. A very good morning to everybody. Firstly, I would like to thank Usha ma'am, Anand sir, and all the organizers of IFET College of Engineering for Tableau data visualization tool for researchers. I would like to say that in this pandemic situation, it's very important that we utilize our time in doing something fruitful. It's very important that we make use of this big data, because I'll be telling you that this big data has made great responses in fighting and tackling COVID-19 also. So what this is big data and how this big data is a very important scenario, not only for analytics, but also for visualization. We'll be looking in this particular session, and in the upcoming sessions, second and third, we'll be drawing our attention towards more of visualization tool, which is a very interesting and very easy to go visualization tool, that is Tableau. So let's start with a video which will show you how big data is playing a very important role in the current scenario.
What is big data? With the spike in internet usage and other technologies such as IoT devices, mobile phones, autonomous devices like robotics, drones, vehicles, appliances, the volume of generated data is growing exponentially at an unprecedented rate. This constant increase in the amount of data generated has led to the emergence of big data. So, what is big data? Let's keep it simple. Big data refers to a collection of data that is so huge and complex that none of the traditional data management tools are able to store it or process it efficiently. Now, you know that big data involves lots of data, but have you ever stopped to think about just how big is big data?
How big is
According
big
to
data?
Forbes, there are 2.5 quintillion bytes of data created every day. Now, you might be wondering how big data tools manage to handle such a huge amount of data. When Netflix offers you personalized recommendations from its library of thousands of movies and TV shows, that's big data at work. Big data helps Netflix determine which programs may be of interest to you, and the recommendation systems actually influences 80% of the content we watch on Netflix. In the near future, with the growing increase in the volume of data, big data will grow bigger, and the demand for data management experts will
Big
shoot
data
up.
will grow
The gap
bigger.
between the demand for
Remember,
data professionals and their availability will widen. This will help data scientists and analysts draw higher salaries. So, what are you waiting for?
so what are you waiting for? We need to look into the specification of big data. Normally, I always during my webinars and FDPs and sessions and my expert talks, I usually connect with my audience. So with the connected audience, let's see how much the audience know about big data. Can we have some good answers in the chat box by the audience? Question number 1, as companies move past the experimental phase with Hadoop, many cite the need for traditional capabilities, including. Can we have some answers from the audiences? Audience, can we have some answers from you? Companies move past the experimental phase with Hadoop. Many cite the need for traditional capabilities, including. Let's see how much the audiences are connected with this. Anything you know about big data, you can specify. Just think little bit. Just
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Actually, the big data may be tera size, or above the tera size of is big data.
Sir, yes, sir. I'm asking for question number 1. As companies move past the experimental phase with Hadoop, many cite the need for traditional capabilities, including. Can I get some answer from?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all options are important because in this current scenarios, we require data storage, data retrieval, transformation, we required warehousing, we required also security. But the capability that is very much important in this current scenario is security, workload management, and SQL support. Yes, D is more connected, but I think we need to utilize all these options, but D is more connected. Okay, so question number 2. Point out the correct statement. Question number 2, point out the correct statement. Hadoop do need specialized hardware to process the data. Hadoop 2.0 allows live stream processing of real-time data. In Hadoop programming framework, output files are divided into lines or records, and D, none of the mentioned above. Any option for question number 2? Yes, B is more relevant, Priya ma'am. It's Hadoop 2.0 allows live stream processing of real-time data. Yes, correct. Question number 3. Question number 3. According to analysts, for what can traditional IT system provide a foundation when they are integrated with big data technologies like Hadoop? Remember, what can traditional IT systems? Question number 3 for everybody. Let's have some answers for question number 3. For what can traditional IT system provides a foundation when they are integrated with big data technologies like Hadoop?
Ma'am, collecting and storing unstructured data.
No, sir, it's big data management and data mining. Not all again, the most, they are all important, but specifically when we talk about integrating with the traditional IT system, it's big data management and mining. Okay, warehouse and intelligence is more for visualization, but when we talk about Hadoop, it's more of big data management and data mining. Okay, so we have a connected audience. Now, question number 4. Facebook tackles big data with Dash based on Hadoop. There's a project name. Anybody has the idea what is the name of that project? Anybody has the idea of the name of that project? Yes, A. Himani is totally correct. It's Project Prism. Yes, it's Project Prism. Correct. Last question. Let's see who will tackle the last one. All of the following accurately describe Hadoop except. All of the following accurately describe Hadoop except. Anybody for the 5th one? The last one, audiences? Yes, it's real time. Correct. It's real time, B. Okay, so we had a very connected audience. Let's start off information about how much role the big data is taking place. Okay, now the thing is that when we were tackling data, we were dealing with small data, which had low volumes, which has less velocities, which was more of structured. But now when we are talking about real-time velocities. We are talking about multi-structures varieties. Now, we still don't know actually who gave the term big data, but it is credited to John R. Maché, who at the time during the Silicon Graphics made this term popular. Now, when we talk about the big data, it's like 44 zettabytes by 2020. It will be trillion gigabytes and so on. So when we are talking about this decade, in this decade, there is a huge unstructured data sets that need to be transformed into a more analytical specification of big data. Evolution of big data. The big data is divided into main various phases. In those phases, we had the evolution of your big data into more, because when we started studying big data, we had a different specification of big data. Now, currently, there are phases. We'll be discussing about the phases where the contemporary meaning of big data has been evolved into a more drastic specification. Now the phase 1.0, in which we were doing analysis, and big data originated from the database management, and we had more of RDBMS, relational database management queries being done. And the specification was that there was a foundation of database queries, online analytical processing, and reporting tools. So the phase 1.0 was more in terms of online analytical processing. Then came the term big data phase 2.0, which started in around 2000 when internet and web was very popular, and everybody had the big data in their hand. Then the various companies like Yahoo, Amazon, and all started to analyze the customer behavior in order to improve their whether it's profit, business analysis, and so on. Then there was the arrival and the growth of social media tools and technologies gave rise to a big data 2.0, in which the analytics techniques that were able to extract the meaningful information out of the unstructured data. That was very important, because in this phase, we need to extract the meaningful data from the unstructured data. Then came the big data phase 3.0. The specification of this particular phase is that now with the advancement of the mobile devices, it is possible to track movement, analyze physical behavior. And when we are talking about the current COVID-19 scenario, health related data is also being provided by the big data. Now we have the specification of transportation, health and management, and so on. And when we have the Internet of Things, the TVs, the mobiles, and all producing around zettabyte of data, and we talk about smart cities, smart homes. Now the race has been began to extract the meaningful and the valuable information out of these new data sources, which have become a very integral part of the society. See, so when we talk about the big data phase 1, it was more in 1970s to 2000, when we were doing more of mining and statistical analysis. From 2000 to 2010, it was much of social media analytics. Now from 2010, in the present scenario, we have location aware analysis, we have mobile visualization, and we have the human computer interaction. That's facing a very important role, because nowadays we are utilizing big data in generating your robotics, in big data in generating the AI and ML models. So big data is playing a very important role. Now the big data is a very interesting picture, and we need to specify the more skilled technology for the future. And why? Because it has some specific reasons for it. Now, big data will handle routine tasks and save time. That is very important, because I'm telling you, nowadays when we say about we are just traveling and we are using our GPS, so we want to save our time. So that is also the data that is being specified by the big data, and we are integrating the AI, the artificial intelligence, the machine learning modeling. All these built are using by big data, and any kind of survey and analysis and model building is failure if you don't have a correct big data analysis picture into it. Now we have this analysis of the social media platforms. We have heard these things that nowadays so many, whether it's elections or whether we say any type of strategical information is being highlighted by analysis of the social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, how people are behaving, what are their posts. So this is also playing a very important role, and this is being done all by taking into analysis the concept of big data, because when we talk about any kind of your information that is being spread across these platforms, it is very important to connect people and connect big data with this technology so that meaningful information can be tracked out. Now, when we talk about any kind of business intelligence and business analysis, this big data is playing a very important role when we talk about healthcare, when we talk about manufacturing, when we talk about any type of advertisements and any kind of industry. This is playing a very important role for determining the how the customer is behaving, what are the customer more tackled towards, what is the customer more inclined toward. So this is also a very important scenario where your business costs are also being reduced by developing good models through the big data terminologies. Now we say that the demand for big data analyst is increasing. Why? Because the specification is that with the rise of AI and machine learning, data scientists are playing a very important role. The ability to prepare data for good analysis, and also the thing is that we need to specify that there is around a 29% increase in demand of data analysis from 2013. And according to DICE salary survey, there is a very great hike in the salary of the people who will be now called as data scientists, because they are playing a very important role in predictive analysis also. Now, as you have already told, that artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning are the future, are the game changers. I can tell you that in India, around 12 startups have started in this current pandemic situation. And in this current pandemic situation, all those 12 startups are utilizing modeling based on artificial intelligence and machine learning, but their backup is big data. All that they are doing in analysis is by big data analysis only. So when we talk about any kind of lettuce farming and so on, big data help in correct analysis and predictive analysis. So it is becoming the future of the society. When we started learning about the 3 or the 4 V's of the big data. But I can tell you that are not only the 4 and the 3 V's of big data, there are 8 V's of big data, which are carrying into the specification their volume where it plays a very important role. Value, this is very important, because we need to find out that for your project development, for your analysis, what you need the most. Then veracity plays a very important role, because it specifies that are you dealing with the information or are you dealing with disinformation. Nowadays in our current society, we need to tackle about what is information and what is disinformation. Now, visualization, again a V. I can tell you nowadays people are so much focused upon visualization, because visualization help you to take a decision by a glance. Nowadays, when you go to various kind of clients, you don't show them big Excel fields or big Excel graphs. You just show them one Tableau graph, which will be helping them to make analysis. Now we have the variety. In a picture worth of 1,000 words in 70 language, is your information balanced? We need to specify balancing and variety of the information. Velocity plays a very important role. Now, viscosity, does it stick with you? You need to find out whether that information is a part of you or not. And virality, nowadays in the current social media scenario, we need to specify whether that information needs to be made viral or not. We have seen into specification so many fake news and so many wrong data being speculated all across the internet. So now big data specifies the correct information that needs to be made viral or not. So all these 8 V's are a very important role in any kind of big data analysis. Now, various huge amount of research problems from parallel data processing, identifying fake news, dimensional reduction approaches, when we have the anomaly detection, and we have the various types of the lightweight big data analytics as a service, when we have the Spark clusters dealing with neural network translations, we have the chat box frameworks, all have, whether any kind of language, whether any kind of IoT technology, whether any kind of machine learning or deep learning you are using, but your base is big data. We have very good, huge, very good laboratories all over the world. I also tell my scholars that take data from the correct sources. So these are some of the very good libraries and laboratories in which you can just mail them, and after mailing them, they provide you, specify about your project details, what are you going to do, and they provide the correct data also. When we talk about the any kind of the Carlin Menon University in USA, or we talk about the Facebook Data Science Research Institute, all these institutes are doing a lot of work in data science, and if they feel that your work is up to the mark, they provide you the data for analytics and for better generation of ML and your AI models. Now, this is very important for us to distinguish between analytics, business intelligence, and big data, because these three things are playing a very important role in the current society. So
Ma'am,
let's
excuse
see.
me, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So let's see how data science, big data, and data analytics are playing a very important role in the current scenario. Big data is humongous volumes of data. And analytics is statistical analysis of the data. Discover how we can use that data to draw conclusions, very important. Machine learning models are a very important part of that. The data analyst acquire, summarize, and use various types of reporting tools to package the insights of the data. You talk about search engines, you talk about financial services, you talk about e-commerce, retail, healthcare, data analytics, and big data and data science is everywhere. So you need not say that there is one industry or one left. Everywhere it is there. When we talk about Python, we talk about Java. When we talk about MongoDB, these are all programming languages that are playing a very important role. And huge salary is being provided to the people. So that's the thing. Nowadays, your analysis, analytics, business intelligence, and big data is playing a very important role for the society in order to generate good solutions. Very important. We have seen in this current pandemic situation that if you don't have good solution technology-wise, your sitting at home or lockdown cannot be a solution, because it is hampering the economy also. So we need to find out technological solutions in order to serve the society. When we talk about analysis, analysis was more of cleansing and transforming data and modeling the data, but it was more of the things that has happened into the past, and those past analysis was specified as more of the things that we need to specify in terms of their descriptive structure. So analysis was a kind of the things that we are analyzing or analysis in terms of the past scenario. So when we talk about any kind of building a sale analysis pattern, so for example, this is a graph which is showing the sales in terms of stores. So this is a kind of analysis where we specify the month, and this analysis picture shows us how these patterns are being specified for a particular store. Now, when we talk about analytics, analytics is more of giving the meaningful patterns, the interpretation in a more statistical manner, taking into aspect of machine learning, predictive modeling, data mining, cognitive computing, and we have the artificial intelligence, everything more combined in order to produce better solutions and better models. That's very, very important. So when we talk about why we need to perform these analytics, when we have the picture of diagnostic analytics, we can see that in our current pandemic situation, diagnosis is playing a so important role. We see that descriptive analysis when we talk about any kind of seasonal trend, then analytics plays a very important role. Then we have the specification of predictive and prescriptive. Predictive also plays a very important role. And when we talk about any kind of a doctor giving some prescriptions to their patients, that is also, if done in a very efficient manner by big data analytics, then what happens, then the load on the doctor is also reduced. So when we talk about your descriptive analysis, it is more of what happened. In the layman language, if you want to tell everybody what happened, is a kind of a descriptive analysis. Why did it happen is a type of a diagnostic analysis. Then what will happen further is a kind of predictive analysis. And how can you make it happen? This is the current specification. How can we make it happen is a prescriptive analysis. So if we find about the current pandemic situation, all these four analyses through the big data analytics plays a so important role that in this scenario we require not only predictive but also prescriptive that will help overcoming this particular situation. Now, the thing is that when we talk about your data analysis and data analytics, as I've already told you, analysis was more of the predefined structure or more of the past thing, but building modeling, when we talk about the Google Analytics, when we talk about machine learning embedded into it, then we have a clear picture of analytics being done in a very efficient manner nowadays in business intelligence. And as I tell you that the Tableau is one of the most efficient business intelligence tool. So analytics plays a very important role in business intelligence, where you need to summarize the information, where you need to integrate that information, and where you need to build a dashboard. Very important, because you cannot, as I told you, give the client 10 Excel files and 20 Excel files or some reading information that you analyze. This is the analytics. No, you need to give them one single picture, and that single picture will help them to, that is a dashboard, that is the story that is being specified through the Tableau or any kind of visualization tool that help in the correct analytics of that particular business intelligence. So when we talk about business intelligence, we have huge amount of finance data, we have huge amounts of operation data, and the thing is that we need to ETL, that is extract, transform, and load. Then we need to use the various type of warehousing. We have the online analytical processing engines, the reporting engines, and build a report that is more in terms of visualization effect that will help the any type of companies to have a better profit and to attract better customer in any kind of particular scenario in profit making. Now, when I talk about the big data is a very important part of your business intelligence. And why? Because the big data is helping the business intelligence to get distinct and distributed storage and processing solutions. And as I told you, when AI, machine learning, and all things are combined with it, you are able to process not only the image, the audio, the video, and more specific files. And as John Turkey said, the greatest value of a picture is when it forces us to notice what we never expected to see. So Tableau and various type of visualization tools will help you to see the picture you never expected to see. Because when we were writing things, when we were just making a report, then we were not able to get the picture that was actually desired, and we were not able to show the client the things that it never has been occurred. So that's the power of visualization, to find out the dependencies, to find out the correlation that actually are hidden inside the data sets. See, you can see this kind of a picture. If I see this kind of a picture, any kind of analysis of industrial data, so I can track out that there is various types of pipe vibrations, there are lack of lubrication, there's electrical shutdown. So rather than by reading, by visualization, I am able to track more in an efficient manner. Then we have your social comments. In the social media, that's playing a very important role. These are the comments. If somebody has written you or somebody has visualized in a particular manner, then you are able to see that these are the comments of any kind of a social media scenario. So then we are able to track these things out. Then this is an analysis of customer behavior. For example, you have a gloves brand, so the time period, and this graph shows that you have the particular scenario in which you can present a picture in which the customer behavior is analyzed for buying a particular product. So more you are connected with a visualization scenario. See, this is type of symbol maps, lot of symbol maps, and these type of visualization tools are utilized. For example, we can easily track out that the small circle specify 10,000 and the largest circle specify your 1 lakh. So these type of visualization tools help you to grasp more. And then we have the line charts. We have the line charts in which they are specifying the events that are happening and the particular analysis. And nowadays when we talk about, we say that this was all happening in Excel also. No, but Excel didn't have the drag and the drop option. I'll be showing you that how Tableau plays a very important role in dragging and dropping, and with no coding, you have simple analysis and analytics being done by using a visualization tool. Now, when you talk about pie charts, when you talk about legends, each thing is being specified in a more visualization pattern, is a more visualistic pattern that will able to track out and do a more and much better analytics scenario. So this is kind of a bar chart. This is also one of the visualization scenario which is being utilized in various type of information handling tasks and analytics processing. Also, we have heat maps. We have different types of visualization effects that help us use to analyze any kind of scenario when you are in type of not only in business community, in construction industry, any type of industries. Now, one thing that you need to specify that what are the mistakes that you need to avoid during the data visualization is that we need to choose the right visualization tool. It can be your Microsoft BI, Power BI, ClickView, Tableau, any tool that is best suited. And the thing I want to tell you, all these tools have a 14 and 15 days trial version. So what happens when you start using them and 14-15 days when you use them, you are able to track out that actually this tool is important, because later on when we want to pay them or when we want to get a particular version in which we need to buy those particular tools, then we need to specify by our this particular usage that whether that tool is used or utilized for further processing or not. So that's also a very important role. So in the first scenario, you should always use them as a trial version and later on pay them when you think that it is best suited for any kind of an application. Now, I will be telling you the most important big data tools that are very fruitful, and now most of them are very much online available. And second thing is that they have the trial version. So once you, and nowadays we also have the GitHub code and we can easily go there. And the most important thing is we need to first run the previous code and then play with it. You cannot say that you can just start writing the new code. Always try to use first the old code, just play with it and then test with it whether you are able to extract some meaningful information through that code or not. Now, when we talk about Xplenty, Xplenty is one of the big data handling tool, and it is also playing a very important role in terms of any type of sales, marketing, and developer solutions. The thing is that it has a 7-day free trial version. I was already telling you that these versions are specific for different tools. Some have 7 days, some have 14 days trial version. So then you can go on and see if your particular project or your application requires it or not. Then we have the thing is that with Xplenty, the information is that the billing option is available for online. So for that particular scenario, you need to think about whether it's helpful to be used or not. And secondly thing is that although the Xplenty is more for customization and flexibility, but you need to think that whether you need to use it for your project or for your analysis or not. Second is Hadoop. Hadoop is now the platform that most of the people and most of the industries support, because when we talk about Amazon, when we talk about Microsoft, Facebook, they all are using Hadoop. And it is very important scenario that Hadoop is used to handle various types of video images. Then for your research and development and quick access, Hadoop plays a very important role. Some cons that comes with Hadoop, that there need to be more optimization, there need to be a reduced redundancy for Hadoop scenario, but still Hadoop plays a very important role in any kind of your big data analytics. And next we have the CDH, the cloud era. Nowadays lot of students and the scholars are going for the cloud area distribution, and the main thing for cloud era is that the important specification is that it help you to not only collect but process, manage and distribute the data. And when we talk about its security and its governance, it plays a very important role. Some cons is that there may be some licensing issue occur, because there's a free version available, but if you are want to extract some more specific feature, then you need to buy it, and then you need to go for a licensing scenario. Also, Cassandra is also utilized by a lot of Facebook and your Honeywell and Yahoo incorporations. And the thing is important that it is using NoSQL DBMS. So NoSQL is playing a very important role in the current for students who are working in query processing. And the thing is that Cassandra is free, so you can go and access it in a more specific scenario. Then the other thing that occurs is your K9. K9 or NIME simple is also playing a very important role, and for any type of ETL operations it is working very smoothly. And the thing is that it is again supporting the Linux operating system. So when we talk about the platform, this platform is also free, so you can use it, you can go and get the GitHub code, and you can start utilizing it in a more efficient manner. Then when we talk about data wrapper also plays a very important role in the current, and it can be easily worked with mobile, tablet or desktop. The thing is that it has some specification with the pricing, and when you go for when you specify that you actually want to work with data wrapper, then you can pay the price for it's about 10K and so on. That is dependent upon your usage. Then we talk about MongoDB. MongoDB is again using the NoSQL version, and since it is being written in C, C++ and JavaScript, people are being more connected to it. And the thing is that it is very easy to learn, and the little bit the specification is that it has limited analytics. But the thing is that you have the paid version also, and you have the free version also, so you can use that depending upon your project analysis. Then Lumify also being utilized for visualization, more for multimedia and real-time collaboration. And for students, it is helpful because it is a free tool. Then we have the high performance computing cluster, HPC. It is more for usage for a supercomputer scenario. And since again it is written in C++, then it is very important for those people who are more connected with C++ scenario. And the thing is that for parallel data processing and for various type of cost effective scenarios, it is helpful because again it is a free tool. Now, Storm is also into the market, although not very popular. But when you talk about the Alibaba and the Yahoo groups, they are using Storm again as a Apache Storm. And since it is coming from an Apache business tool, so it is utilized. And since it is using the Clojure and Java platforms, people are connected with it. And also it is being as a free tool, so you can utilize it in terms of research analysis. Then Samoa is also an Apache version. It is also being utilized for free runtime streaming and various types of mining and machine learning analysis. You can utilize it. Again, it is a free version. Now, talent is also utilized again for your support of machine learning and IoT. People are using it. The thing is that your trial version again is available, but you need to specify that for an interface point of view, it could have been much better because it had the connectors for Hadoop and NoSQL, but interface is little difficult. So people find it difficult to work with talent. RapidMiner is also a Java open source tool. This is utilized. Lot of students and MTech scholars and PhD scholars are using the RapidMiner, but it has a commercial pricing which starts from $2.5. So you need to think upon this particular scenario, whether it's suited for your project analysis or not. Qubole is also being utilized very much by various types of big data analytics work, and it was also, since it is available all across the AWS worldwide, the thing is that it supports 5 users for a free version. Then you can go and take for an enterprise version, then you have to pay for it. A Tableau, the thing is that which has arisen is Tableau. Tableau is one of the most supported and most popular visualizing tool that has been specified by the advantage of that you don't have to do lot of coding, or you don't have to do a lot of research and a lot of study on it. It has very interactive dashboards, and thing is that it has a 14-day trial version. It has a 1-year free version for the students. So if you are able to get that, you can easily work with it in a click and drop fashion. You are just dragging and dropping and you are getting your solutions. And the thing is that it is using a VisQL. A VisQL is a very popular language which is converting the queries in terms of your visualization. So Tableau is the most responsible business intelligence tools which is supported by the industry. And when we talk about, there are various versions for billing annually, or when we are talking about your online, because it has different modes. I'll be telling you in the next session, and all these modes play a very important role for the users who will be using them in their further visualization and project analysis tools. Then R is also very supportive tool, but R was specified in terms of mathematical analysis, graphical display. And the thing is that the R has a packaged ecosystem, but it can be an issue with the pricing and so on. So when we are talking about its advantages, since it is supporting a C, Fortran and an R programming language, it is more connected to the people, but it has some issues with the commercial license. So it can be specified for people who are more into the analytics specified by R. Now, if we talk about visualization tool, Tableau stands number 1. Tableau is number 1 in terms of its easy analytics, in terms of its ease of use and smart dashboards. I'll be showing you some of these very good smart dashboards that are utilized by Tableau, and they are being generated in just 1 click. You don't have to do any specific coding. You don't have to go for a large type of huge analysis. You have to just drag and drop and get the insights of your visualization. ClickView, actually ClickView had the connected participants a lot into when it came, but now ClickView is going towards more of Tableau. As Tableau is building, has interactive dashboard, ClickView is targeted to build a more interactive dashboard like Tableau. So when we compare both of them, everything which is in ClickView and every interactiveness that is in ClickView is in Tableau, and much more better. And ClickView is now adapting to Tableau. So when we compare, I think Tableau is much better than ClickView. Then we have chart blocks. Chart blocks are also being utilized as one of the visualization tool. They can be used, but as I told you, when you start using Tableau, I think you will not be going to any of these tools further. Power BI, Power Business Intelligence, was again a free version available tool, visualization tool, and it was also the starting phase where visualization started. Your Power BI was more connected towards the participants, but now again, as I told you, the Tableau has taken all the most of the customers of Power BI and ClickView, and most people are going towards Tableau. Raw was again a tool which was used for visualization, because the thing was that it was easy to work, but the number of sources through which you can get information through Tableau, and the data store that is available in Tableau is nowhere with any of these tools. Now, these were all the tools which were more of audience connected, and now it's very important that once you are examine these types of tools, but you need to go for some developing environment and some more visualization tools in terms of developing environment, then you can go for Google Charts and Fusion Charts and Ember Charts. But remember, these are more in terms of developers, and more coding is required for them. So when you are going for these visualization tools, you need to be a little bit you need to do a study for the any kind of audience tool, which can be Power BI or Tableau or your Raw or anything. Then you should go for these type of developing tools, because these developing tools are little bit tougher to understand as compared to your audience tool. So when you are going for any type of chartgist.js, or when you are going for d3.js, then these tools are more when you have the understanding of the audience tools. So you need to remember that first explore the audience tool, then go for developer tools in terms of any type of business intelligence scenario. These are all the references I'll be sharing with you all also, and I'll be sharing with the organizers also. You can go and have a look how much people are connected to the big data, and even Gartner specified that Tableau is one of the most interactive and most connected big data utilization tool. So you need to perform, and you need to study about big data, not only in terms of your developing, but also in terms of your visualization. So I at Jamia Hamdard, we all are being connected to this particular pandemic situation. And in this pandemic situation, we say that it's a learning time. We should utilize our time in order to learn and help the society. Very important. We as technical people, one hand should be in learning and one hand should be in supporting the society. You can connect me. This is my mail IDs, and I'll be here full day through the sessions. So we'll be having more interactive talks. So I'll be very much happy to take the questions of the. I think there were some questions being coming. But the thing is that during the time when we are in the flow of the presentation, it's difficult to go to the chat box, because it reduces our flow. So when we have completed the presentation, we usually come back and answer all the questions that the particular participants are asking for. So I'm open to the questions. Organizers, I can specify the questions that the participants are asking for.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, I'll be sharing my PPT and everything. That I think it's with the organizers also, and I'll be sharing them. You can connect with me also. I have shared my email, and today full day I am here with you all. You have to, what we say, you have to understand me also, and I am also a learner at every aspect. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Participant, do you have any question?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. Actually, difference between the data analysis and analysis. Actually, analysis means we got to analyze the planning of the data structure. Analytics is if you use any models for that is analytics.
Yes,
is it
sir.
correct? Yes.
Yes, sir. Totally correct. Actually, sir, I can tell you in terms of phases. Actually, when we started utilizing big data, we were not into more of artificial intelligence and machine learning. We only used that analysis for giving out a picture. okay, for giving out some information, okay, some refined information. We were not able to make conclusions with that, but analytics helps us to make conclusions, and that too when combined with any type of artificial intelligence and machine learning environment, it gives a boost to that. So when you talk about analytics, analytics is more of providing conclusion. And sir, if we talk about current pandemic situation and any type of war-like situations, these analytics plays a very important role.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, the bytes are Sera bytes, ma'am. The Sera bytes.
Yes, sir.
That is size is how much, ma'am? That is a 10 power what, ma'am? 10 power something.
Sir, I'll just tell you, just a sec.
Tera, I know the Tera means. Sera byte means how
It's
much?
about, it's not Zera, it's zettabytes. It's about 2 to the power 70 bytes. Zettabytes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
It can be related with about 1000 TB. When we talk about now, we are taking when we're talking about any type of hard disk, we say that it's 1 TB. So when you talk about 1000 TB, you can analyze that scenario.
Okay. Or one more questions, ma'am. Communication side. I'm asking communication side. Actually, the big data, actually now the bandwidth is very low for the 4G. Already the 100 megabits per second, but it's not come in the now because of all are using the education side, so the bandwidth is less. So how can we transmit the big data from one end to another end? If now the trend position, now the situation.
Sir, can you just again repeat the question?
Yes. We have to transmit the big data. Actually, the X-rays, suppose X-rays is 40 MB. We have to transmit the 40 MB of data, that is a big data, transmit one end to another end. Now the bandwidth, actually the bandwidth is 15 to 30 kilobits per second for the communication side. How we can transmit the big data from one end to another using the lower band in the situation of now the COVID, that is medical.
Sir, the thing is that for in terms of visualization, I am telling you, the thing is that when you talk about any kind of an X-ray or when you talk about any type of picture, what visualization is helping you is not transmitting that actually the picture, but the analytics of picture in terms of, for example, if we talk about any type of picture, that picture has pixels, that picture has some image processing characteristics. So what visualization is doing when you have anything in terms of tabular information, so the information is transmitted when you have the bandwidth issues or some other issues of data being traveled from one end to another end. So these visualization tools are converting them into more interactive graphs by analyzing that particular picture or in terms of pixels. So when you have those pixels being analyzed, then this analysis and bandwidth issue come a little bit in terms of lesser scenario. So actually when you are saying you are not transmitting or transferring that picture, you are transmitting that tabular information of that picture. Then you have a more regulated scenario in terms of bandwidth.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Sudha Rajesh, you can ask your question. Ma'am, have you any question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can proceed.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not audible, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'm not audible. Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
we are. Now.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
No, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You are. You can hear. Yes, ma'am. Your voice is audible only.
Ma'am, audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there another question is there? Has been asked by Sushani Gadara. For predictive analysis, what are the algorithms used? Can we implement them in Tableau?
Ma'am, the thing is nowadays when we are talking about any type of machine learning algorithms, or when you talk about any kind of artificial intelligence algorithms, they, when combined with the big data, they are playing a very important role in any type of predictive analysis. So when you are going for predictive analytics, you need to specify the algorithms that are available in terms of your machine learning, and also in terms of, I think, Python nowadays. Python is also very much reliable, and it has so much of GitHub code available. So when you have very good GitHub code available in the GitHub libraries, so you can go for those particular codes, and you can go for any type of your clustering algorithm, and it has so many regression algorithms, and we can specify that when we are working with Tableau, and when we are working with, suppose, R tool and any type of visualization and big data tools, they all have their clustering itself, your decision trees. All these algorithms are the machine learning algorithms. So these, when combined with big data, and ma'am, very important thing is that we need to take the big data from very good sources. I have listed you some of the labs that are worldwide being enhanced, doing enhanced work in big data analytics. So you need to go for that. And also Tableau has provided so much valuable and reliable information. I can tell you, ma'am, that in I think it was in one of the I think Chennai only, there was a one startup being done where they were distinguished between the X-ray of a person who had COVID and an X-ray of the person who had pneumonia. But since they didn't analyze and didn't take the data from the correct source, they were not able to get the correct picture of that particular startup. So the startup failed because they were not able to take the right algorithm in, and they were not able to connect it with the big data from the reliable sources. So that's very important, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Another question is there. Use of Hadoop is only 20% out of the whole big data implementation. So they want to know whether which technology is used apart from Hadoop technology.
Ma'am, nowadays when we talk about business intelligence visualization, because I can tell you that Hadoop is one of the when we were doing an analytical study of various type of big data tools, Tableau came into the picture. So Hadoop is more of in terms of coding methodology and in terms of clustering technology. But nowadays, business intelligence is taking about 30 to 40% of this particular whole analytics. So nowadays, people are, or companies for business intelligence are more shifted towards visualization tool rather than for big data tools. Yes, big data tools play a very important role because those visualization effects will be generated from those big data tools only. So now there's a combined working. You have the big data tools, you have your machine learning tools, you have your artificial intelligence tool, and you have your visualization tool. So all these complement together for the any time of predictive analytics, because you cannot rely that Hadoop, because I can tell you 10 to 20% is not very good predictive analysis picture. So when you are talking about any type of good predictive analysis, it cannot come unless and until you have utilized your machine learning and artificial intelligence algorithms and tools with that.
Thank you, ma'am. Participant, do you have any more questions? If you have any query, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Yes, I'll be taking with the implementation of Tableau. First, I'll explain the Tableau in the second one, and then I'll be taking with the technology of Tableau with hands-on in the third session.
I would like to express our sincere thanks to Dr. Sharon Zaffer for giving an excellent coverage in big data analytics and data visualization tool with Tableau. Thank you for your brilliant session, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.